Hello, everyone out there. Assuming people are out there. How is everyone doing today? Hello, Last Nonak. So we do have some people here. This is good. People doing fine is a good thing to hear. It's been busy around here. Mostly because of work. And work's, fascination with waiting until the last possible minute to spring things on people. I mean, just take, for example, Friday. Now, understand, I'm in kind of a situation where I'm paid hourly. But I'm paid at, I'm a technician at work, but I'm paid hourly. And the first few weeks I worked at this place, way back at the beginning of the year, I started racking up 65 to 70 hour work weeks because that's how much stuff I had to do. And it didn't take very long for somebody over in management to sit there and say, pump the brakes on this and try not to work the excessive hours. Because I was a little expensive. I'm not speaking very loud. But is it that quiet? It's hitting about the same point it usually does on the meter in OBS. I don't know. I mean, I had the music videos up fairly loudly. But I can turn up the gain just a little bit here. Maybe that'll help. Maybe. But no, it was stuff I needed to do. I literally had that much work when I first started the job because, well, there really wasn't anybody doing the job before me, so there was a lot of backup work to get taken care of. So now, I have this semi-fluid schedule. I don't have to be at work at a specific minute. It's just any time before a certain hour of the day, just manage to make it in and stick around for, at least my 8 hours in the day. And anytime I get over that, gets applied to Friday. So if I work an hour a day overtime, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they only want me working 4 hours on Friday. So I have a 40-hour week. Well, it gets really, really fun when I plan around this, and then, literally, as I'm about to shut down the laptop I use at work, my supervisor comes in and says, "Hey, so did you see what they did to the schedule?" And they need something done before I leave. So I'm going to hear it on a couple of fronts that, it's like, oh, look, you spent another 2 hours overtime on Friday. Why did you do this? Yay. But anyway. From that nonsense begets this nonsense. Did we actually make it? We made it to the end of chapter 3. Did it not save? We did chapter 4, didn't we? It did not save. if we did. No, I guess we got to the end of chapter 3, because that's about the right time, since I ended a little bit early. No, we only got to the end of chapter 3. Okay. Yeah, that does look roughly correct. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, we haven't played this. We haven't done a baseball scenario in this chapter. This is new. Okay. This means Ire is gonna be here, isn't it? Doesn't it? But I delay with sighs. Anyway.
今日もお暑いのにご精が出ますことで。
おお、ミオンさんじゃないですか。こんにちは。あれ？それは差し入れですか？ありがたいな。さすがは我がチームのマネージャー。
まあ気が向いたからです。
So, Mion should be the one doing this, you know.
別に監督に差し入れたくて買ってきたわけじゃないので、そこんとこよろしくお願いします。あと、さりげなく人を勝手にマネージャーに組み込まないように。
ミオンがマネージャーだったらいろいろ心強いと思うけどね。やってよ、ミオン。マネージャー。
You know, Mion would probably be a much better player than a manager. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure Mion would be able to beat out most of these people. Satoshi-kun smiled at me in a carefree manner. I didn't want to become their manager. It'd be tiresome. I've been coming every week, though, so I'm a quasi-manager already.
まあ、本当に気が向いたらその時はやりますんで。で、どうです？サトシ君の打率はどんな感じです？
ええ、頑張ってますよ。彼の打率ですか？そうですね。
Kid bats around 100. It's really shameful.
セブンスマートでおせんべいの袋をどれでも3つ買うとですね。
それってつまり3割ってことですか？
So the kid's batting 300?
へえ、3割打者。サトシ君って結構な高打率打者じゃないの。
He's not batting 300.
打率は数字じゃないよ、ミオン。ここ一番で打てなきゃ意味がないんだからさ。
サトシ君は自分で自分の弱点をよく分かっているようですね。
But he's bad under pressure.
そこまで分かっているなら、あとは練習あるのみですよ。
Yeah. Ire signaled to the pitcher, who then threw the ball. Satoshi-kun looked calm, following the ball with his eyes. Then he swung. The ball flew between the first and second bases and landed in the distance.
おお、やったー。パチパチパチパチパチ。
30%, or in baseball terms, 300 batting average. Your batting average is basically I mean, literally, it's how many times you hit the ball out of 100. Or 1,000 in this case, I guess you'd say. Your batting average can be anywhere from .000 to 1.000. Okay? If you're batting 1.000, you're batting 1,000, which is statistically impossible, etc. Okay, it's not statistically impossible, but practically you're never going to get that high. No one will. In the pro leagues, the record, the single season record is roughly in the 461 category. 461. I think. It's either 461 or 416. Been a very long time since I looked at the stats. Which means that out of every 1,000 at-bats this person had, they managed to get a successful hit 416 times. Or about 41%. That is the record in the pro leagues. It's probably higher in college and probably even higher than that when you get down to whatever level Satoshi's actually at here. But in the pros, generally, if you're batting over 275, 27.5%, that is considered good. Not great, but good. It's acceptable. 300 is pretty freaking solid. We'll say that. Just to give you a very basic idea, considering that, hitting a baseball is considered to be one of the hardest skill things to do in sports. So, making contact, 30% of the time, let alone having that contact end up in a ball that isn't in a position to be caught or snagged and have you thrown out at first base. That's pretty freaking good, really. Anyway. I clapped and Satoshi-kun blushed in response. He repositioned his helmet tied his face.
フリーバッティングや試合が平坦な時はかなり落ち着いたいいバッティングを見せてくれるんですけどね。
Ire smiled compassionately. Now, see, like I said, it's good and solid. I don't know if a 30% hit rate is actually impressive. I mean, it is the Shion here, but, who knows how much Shion actually knows about baseball. But it is a good, solid number. If you're batting about 300 consistently, you're a pretty reliable hitter. It seemed that Satoshi-kun really couldn't perform well when it counted. While he was usually good when everybody expected him to perform, he couldn't. I didn't think it was because of nervousness. He just couldn't do it. I think it's a perfect fit for Satoshi-kun's character. He seems calm at first glance, but he's actually slow.
スコアボードとかそういう数字上ではかなりの高アベレージヒッターなのにね。
Yeah, baseball is huge in Japan. And I don't know how it is now, but back in the 80s, it was generally perceived that the Japanese players really wanted a shot to get to the U.S. major leagues because they considered the U.S. major leagues to be the pinnacle of skill. I don't know what it's like these days.
本番に弱いってのは致命的かも。そんなことだから、こないだの浮田ジャガーとの試合でもここ一番で凡退するんですよ。
And as far as baseball knowledge goes, I know a decent amount. I am by no means an expert. So take my words for what they're worth. But I mean, I did follow the sport when I was, in my pre-teens and through a good chunk of my teens.
うるさいな。気にしてるんだから黙っててくれよ。
あそこで打てれば かなり美味しい見せ場だったんですけどね。
So unlike Keiichi, this kid is terrible in the clutch.
残念です。
A hit could have put the offense into the lead, or at least given them an extension. Offense into the lead. You could just say team. I'm just saying. The offense and the defense are the same people in baseball. I mean, just saying. That was when Satoshi-kun came up to bat. Ire wanted him to live up to everybody's expectations. But statistically, that wasn't likely to happen. Yet Ire insisted on giving him a chance, in spite of the fact that all the team members had suggested a pinch hitter.
ああもう、あそこで打てれば完璧なのにな。どうしてダメなんですか？どうしてああいう時に打てないんですか？
仕方ないよ。僕がああいう時弱いの本当だし、僕だって代打を出してくれた方が試合に勝てるかなって思ったし。
Boy, talk about severe lack of confidence.
試合に勝つかじゃなくて、サトシ君が勝つかどうかが問題なんです。ああもう、なんで当の本人にここまで闘争心がないのかな。普通は逆でしょ。代打に変えられそうなところを、ここは俺に打たせてくださいって食ってかかるとこでしょ。自分から代打を出してほしいなんて言い出すなんて、ああもう、なんでここまで闘争心がないのかな。
それは私も普段から言ってるんですけどね。まあその辺がサトシ君のいいところではあるんですがね。
I mean, in general things, yeah, it's probably a good thing that he knows his limits. But when it comes to competitive sports, you kind of need the confidence. You kind of do.
普段は紳士でも試合には鬼になる。
Yeah, something like that. But considering where Satoshi's story ends, we have to assume there will be aggression at some point from the boy here.
男にはそういう二面性があっても私はいいと思います。とにかくサトシ君には鬼がない。
Not in public.
仮にもひなみ沢の人間なんだから、たまにはご先祖の鬼の血を思い出してくださいよね。って聞いてます？サトシ君？
聞いてるよ。よくわかんないけど、
わかんないけどってサトシ君の話をしてるんですよ。それを
Personal space? Satoshi-kun suddenly started stroking my head. He looked delighted for some reason. A blush immediately spread across my face. I didn't know how to respond.
ミオンは僕のためを思って言ってくれてるんだよね。ありがとう。僕は頑張る。
サトシ君。
Yeah, a saint like Satoshi probably cannot be influenced by demons.
そういうことしてごまかさないでください。
ごまかしてなんかないよ。嬉しいだけだよ。
I couldn't resist his hand. I couldn't help mumbling like he does. Satoshi-kun ran back to the field, leaving me red as a beet.
頭撫でられるの弱いんですか？
Yeah, stay out of this.
撫でる人によります。監督が撫でてきたら関節決めますんで、覚悟の方よろしくです。
もうずるいな。
Yeah, stop that! Stop it!
じゃあ全員集合。
No.
今日は出席もいいことですから、人数を分けて紅白戦をやってみましょう。
The Hinamizawa Fighters are sort of a lazy team. The members gather simply to enjoy playing baseball, not to fight for victory. Now see, considering these are kids, I don't see the problem here. The Okonomiya Titans use this field too, but they practice on a different day of the week. They always train hard using dumbbells and stuff. Our team split into two groups and started a match, retaining their loose atmosphere.
じゃあ私は記録でもやるかな。監督、どっかに鉛筆ないですか？
いつもすみませんね。はい、これお願いしますね。
I took the pencil and the clipboard. I didn't know how to differentiate between recording hits and errors at first, but by now I was used to it.
頑張ってサトシくん。あんまり応援するとまた打てなくなっちゃいますね。ほどほどに頑張れ。
それはそれでひどいな。
It really doesn't.
頑張れ。
Time passed slowly that Sunday. Huge white clouds appeared in the sky. They made me feel healthy. Clouds make you feel healthy. Humans are born to be active under the sun. Mostly, yeah. One of the parents was acting as umpire today, so Ire sat on the bench with me. He shouted words of encouragement to the kids while they ran to their positions. Any other baseball coach would constantly berate them, but he was much more generous, like a kindergarten teacher. He let the kids have fun while watching over them. To other baseball players, it might look a little naive.
それでもあの程度の練習量でみんなこれだけの動きができるんだから驚きですよね。
ひなみ沢の子はみんな普段から元気に遊び回ってますからね。運動量は町のことは比べ物にならないんですよ。変なフォームで固めてしまうより遊び感覚の方が伸びるんです。
おお、見事に沖宮タイタンズとは正反対の考え方ですね。あちらの監督と対立するのわかる気がします。
タイタンズさんの考えも間違ってませんよ。試合は勝つためにするものですからね。勝利至上主義は決して間違いじゃないです。みんなで団結して共通の目標を目指すのはとても素敵なことだと思いますからね。まあうちはその目標がたまたま勝利じゃないってだけのことです。
The Hinamizawa Fighters and the Okonomiya Titans had been rivals for a long time. Both teams shared the same baseball field for one thing, and originally there was only one team, but the people living in Hinamizawa left and made their own. Anyhow, we were rivals. The Okonomiya Titans were strictly about winning, and the Hinamizawa Fighters were just about having fun. Surprisingly, our scores weren't that different, which meant our team had something they didn't. Even though I couldn't put it into words, I knew what made that happen.
ほら、赤組さんも頑張ってください。2点差なんかひっくり返せちゃいますよ。白組も油断なくしっかり。
Still, some parents would criticize our coach for being too lenient, but still others would strongly agree with him. Which side would I take? The latter? I couldn't really say for sure. The reason for this was that Ire had an obnoxious habit of sexual harassment. No kidding! In particular, he had a fascination with maids, but I should talk about that some other time. Satoshi-kun let the ball pass twice to see its trajectory, then hit it on the third pitch and ran to first base.
お、サトシ君打った打った。落ち着いてればさすがですよね。
最初はちょっと素振りしただけですぐバテてたんですけどね。それを思えば本当に上達したものです。
サトシ君って文系って感じの人ですよね。 よくその彼が野球をやろうなんて思ったものですね。
All the other kids, all the other kids who joined the baseball team loved baseball. They'd go out to play in the fields outside of practice. That's why they all had an aptitude for it. But good grief. But Sis never said that Satoshi-kun exercises intensively in school or anywhere else. He only likes to read. That's why I didn't understand why he started playing for this team to begin with.
それはですね、私がサトシ君をこのチームに誘ったからなんです。
へえ。監督が自らスカウトしたんですか？サトシ君に何かすごい素質があるのを見抜いて？
あ、すみません。麦茶を一杯もらってもいいですか？あ、どうも。
Ire asked for tea in a suspicious manner. While he constantly joked around, I knew he was actually a very mature person. And I think we all know why he actually wanted Satoshi on the team. I think we know that one. I think it's kind of obvious. I assumed he was trying to evade my question.
何か訳ありなんですか？
Ire pretended he didn't hear me, but I pressed him on it. In response, he shrugged and began answering the question.
園崎さんなら、あるいは想像がつくんじゃないかと。
Excuse me. What would be Mion Sonozaki's guess? I quickly searched through the data I'd had on Satoshi-kun. I came up with Satoshi-kun's family circumstances. He lost his parents in an accident a year ago. Since then, he's been having a tough time at his uncle's home.
じゃあ監督はサトシ君の鬱憤とかそういうのを解消させてあげようと思ってこのチームに？
スポーツはいいですよ。程よく体を動かして汗をかくことはストレスの発散になります。また熱中することによってわずかな間でも家庭のことを忘れられるならそれは十分な気分転換になりますしね。
ほらサトシ君ってぼんやりしてるというかのほほんとしてるというかそういうところあるじゃないですか。やっぱり相当ストレスあるんですか？
I knew Satoshi-kun must be suffering even though he didn't look like it. But Mion Sonozaki never pays attention to things like that, and I had to act like she does.
おじさんに引き取られて少ししてからサトシ君がだいぶ体調を崩しましてね。いろんな症状を訴えるんですが、いくら調べても原因がはっきりしないんですよ。
Satoshi-kun often got sick after he was taken into his uncle's custody. He suffered from fatigue and migraines. He suffered from a lack of energy and sleeplessness. The coach, Dr. Ire, soon realized Satoshi-kun was suffering from a psychological disorder. Most of the people in Hinamizawa knew how bad Satoshi-kun's environment was. It was natural for him to become sick because he entered that bad environment right after his parents' deaths.
サトシ君は感情の爆発ができないタイプなんですよ。泣いたりとか怒ったりとかそういう感情が人一倍苦手なんです。
確かにサトシ君が泣いたりとか怒ったりっていうのはあまり想像つかないですね。
サトシ君のお母さんが再婚を重ねてるのはご存知で？
まあ少しは。
Satoshi-kun's mother had married a number of men over the years. That meant Satoshi-kun had several stepfathers. He had to deal with strangers coming into his home multiple times, so he was forced to be mature.
サトシ君は精神的に早熟なんです。本人は自覚していないでしょうがね。 泣いたり笑ったりダダをこねたり、そういう時代をあっという間に卒業させられて大人になっちゃったんです。
監督の言い方だと大人ってのが必ずしもいいようには聞こえないですね。
子供は子供らしく過ごすことで成長していくようにできているんです。
He is right about that.
それを無理に大人にしたらやっぱりいいことはないですよ。
Not only was Satoko's current relationship with her aunt conspicuously terrible, I heard that her relationships with her previous stepfathers weren't good either. Satoko always caused problems, and Satoshi-kun would always step in to protect her.
だからサトシ君の体に変調が出たのは、そういうことに体が耐えかねた SOS じゃないかって思ったんです。
That's why Ire invited Satoshi-kun onto the baseball team. He told Satoshi that he needed a new member. Or something like that.
はじめは渋ってましたけどね。彼と診療の際にいろいろとお話しするうちに少しずつ打ち解けていきましてね。ちょっと見学だけにでも来てみるといい。ちょっとバットを持ってみるといい。なんて感じで少しずつ誘っていったんですよ。
Sports worked excellently for Satoshi-kun. His health quickly improved, and he started to become interested in baseball. Yeah, that. Yeah. He practiced batting. He was soon able to swing beautifully, and he learned how to see the trajectory of the ball.
なんかわかるな。サトシ君ってコツコツタイプですからね。How to Baseball なんて本をしおり挟みながら読んでる風景が想像できます。
それであれよあれよという間に3割打者なんです。本当によく頑張りました。これでピンチの時にも打てれば完璧なんですけどね。
サトシ君と監督って仲いいんですか？
悪くはないと思ってますよ。悩みとかそういうのを打ち明けてくれたということは私を信頼してくれたからだと思ってます。
Well, I would imagine he's also kind of desperate for someone to reach out to. I'm just saying. I felt a bit jealous of how confidently Ire said that. While Satoshi-kun and I were friends, we weren't so close that we'd open up to each other like that.
あれ？嫉妬してます？
何に？
Taken aback, I blushed. Ire started laughing at me.
園崎さんもサトシ君の相談相手になってあげてください。
まあ、なれるならなれたらいいかななんて。で、
I didn't know what I was saying.
サトシ君ですね。最近また少し体調を崩してるみたいなんです。
Evil eyeglasses. The ball flew to the left, but the left fielder managed to catch it. It seemed that the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had gotten worse lately. It was obvious his sickness had something to do with that.
おばさんがかなり大人げないいじめ方をしているらしいんです。さとこちゃん、本当にかわいそうなくらいにボロボロになって。何しろ聞いた話では。
で、それをかばうサトシ君もボロボロになっているということですね。
I wasn't interested in Satoko, so I switched the subject back to Satoshi-kun. I didn't know much about Satoko. I knew that she was a big part of Satoshi-kun's life, but I'd never been interested in her until today. She must have been building up self-esteem and taking care of her unreliable brother. That was all I knew about her. Boy, that's kind of the exact opposite of what we saw, isn't it? But considering Satoshi-kun's personality, even that goofiness of his might have been an act. Maybe he was trying to make her feel good about herself by letting her take care of him. If only unconsciously. When he's alone, he's surprisingly strong. I realized that only recently, so I couldn't help but think that his whole life is constantly affected by Satoko. Satoshi-kun managed to get along with his stepfathers even though he experienced some stress. He was even getting along with his aunt. But in order to protect Satoko, he always had to step in and suffer. I didn't really know anything about Satoko, but I had to admit I felt hostile towards her. I felt jealous because she was monopolizing him.
最近、さとこちゃんへのおばさんのいじめがだいぶエスカレートしてるみたいです。サトシ君の体調不良もそれに比例しているんでしょうね。
Ire heaved a sigh. As he said, Satoshi-kun had been absent a few times lately. He seemed a bit tired, too. He looked normal when around everyone else, but he looked a bit depressed when he was alone.
監督はストレスに押しつぶされそうなサトシ君を救うため野球に
Didn't
誘
we
っ
go
た
over
んで
this
すよね。
already?
ええ、そのつもりでした。
こうして野球をやっている今、またストレスに押しつぶされそうになっているサトシ君に今度は何を誘えばいいんですか？
どうすればいいんでしょうね。
Ire smiled powerlessly. I couldn't help feeling a bit disappointed about that because Satoshi-kun put his trust in him.
内緒にしてくださいよ。実はですね、サトシ君、チームを抜けたいってそう漏らすんですよ、最近。
え？どうして？
疲れるからだそうです。というのは表向き。さとこちゃんと一緒にいる時間を増やしてあげるためじゃないかと思ってます。
To no one's surprise.
サトシ君は野球をしている間、さとこちゃんがおばさんにいじめられているかもしれない。その時、さとこちゃんのそばにいられないことが兄として辛いと、そう思っているのかもしれません。
I was left speechless for a while. Satoko again. Satoko. Why did Satoshi-kun have to sacrifice so much for her? Just by ignoring her, his stress would melt away. Of course, I knew he couldn't do that. If that were the case, then the blame lay with his little sister. I knew how badly she'd been treated. But that only happened because she made things worse for herself. It was her fault she couldn't establish a decent relationship with her aunt. If Satoko were more mature, like Satoshi-kun, her home life wouldn't have gotten so bad. Satoshi-kun wouldn't have to suffer those indirect blows. In the meantime, the baseball team's practice match had become one-sided. It wasn't even worth watching anymore. The members of the losing team were just goofing off. The sky had turned cloudy, too. It was depressing. And this, I think she's 10. Remember, this is a year earlier. It didn't look like it'd rain soon, though. The gray sky hadn't brought along any cool air. It just felt disgusting. Ire became quiet. He was looking down around his feet. I, meanwhile, just stared at Satoshi-kun. To me, he didn't look active anymore. He was once able to enjoy playing baseball, and he felt fine. But he got sick again, just because the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had deteriorated. Now see, the thing is, we're looking at this at the vantage point of someone who has a crush on the brother and is, shall we say, disappointed that the brother is so monopolized by his younger sister. Okay? We have to look at it like this. So right now, the easy scapegoat is to just blame Satoko for being a horrible child. That's the viewpoint we're looking at here. So it doesn't matter if she's 10, 9, 8, 7, whatever. Shion is looking for reasons why Satoshi can't spend more time with her. Yep. And it is in this case. So, Never mind the fact that we actually know how horrible her aunt and uncle really are. So, asking her to just put up with her aunt and uncle, kind of irrational in and of itself. I couldn't help but say it.
サトシ君をどうこうするってより、サトコをどうこうする方が先決では。
It was just a murmur, but Irei had definitely caught it.
それはどういう意味ですか、園崎さん。
That's gonna seem extra threatening coming from the person he thinks is Mion.
別に難しい話じゃないです。サトコがしっかりしてくれれば、サトシ君に迷惑をかけることもない。
My God, Shion, were you the one that set all that in motion? My God.
サトコがそもそもの原因であるってことが言いたいだけです。
そんなことは。
Boy, you're about to get on Irei's bad side real quick.
でしょ？だってサトコがトラブルからサトシ君はそのトラブルに介入して矢面に立たなければならないんでしょ？でその結果、本当は買わなくて済んだおばの喧嘩まで買ってるわけでしょ？
Satoshi-kun never got scared of any trouble. No matter how formidable the enemy, he'd bravely stand up to protect the weak. I knew that because I could vividly imagine it. Yes, imagination becomes fact. Insert current political climate joke here. Whenever their aunt chides Satoko, Satoshi-kun steps in to protect her. The aunt probably didn't like it. Though Satoshi-kun didn't have to fight, the aunt would attack him anyway. The fight would then be between the aunt and him. Satoko might then tease the aunt by sticking out her tongue, hiding behind his back, and pretending to be scared. She'd never think about how deeply he was being hurt. Because of Satoko, Satoshi-kun had become cornered and stressed.
園崎さん、あなたがそんな言い方をする人だったとは驚きです。
Not happy doctor here.
あなたはさとこちゃんのお友達でしょ？お姉さん的な立場でしょ？普段も学校でさとこちゃんを慰めたり励ましたりしてるものだと思ってました。
That is pretty much exactly where Shion's thought process is here.
なのにそんな言い方をするなんて正直驚いています。
Irei looked at me suspiciously. I could tell what he was thinking about me. I'd said too much. Mion Sonozaki and Satoko Hojo are friends. They're close, so Mion should have been encouraging her after the situation at home got tougher. That's what Mion was supposed to do. I'd totally forgotten about that and spoken as myself. It's only natural that Irei would give me a suspicious look. He might end up changing his impression of Mion Sonozaki entirely. I'd have to apologize to her about this and ask her to put things right. I totally messed up. Even so, I didn't think I'd said anything wrong. I'd objectively looked at the situation and made a modest proposal. For some definition of objective, maybe? To be honest, I was simply afraid that he might leave the team. I couldn't go to the school in Hinamizawa, so the baseball field was the only place where I could see him. I could even say that he was my reason for living. That's not obsessive or anything, right? Right. That's right. I was in love with him, but I wasn't going to tell him how I felt, for I was satisfied just by being by his side. I certainly couldn't ask for anything more. After all, I couldn't reveal my true identity. Yeah, Shion does have some attachment issues here. And I will say that the background music is nice, but I'm not sure why it's not exactly ringing satisfying bells for me. I had to pretend to be Mion in order to live in Okonomiya. I thought that maybe I should leave Okonomiya in order to be free. But that's stupid. No matter how tough my life might be, I'd prefer to be here, with Satoshi-kun stroking my head every now and then. Why did I love him that much? I read about it in some manga once. You don't need a reason to be in love. I was surprised at myself for being like this.
落ち着け私
I breathed out slowly, then held my breath, trying to slow my throbbing heart. I felt a bit calmer. At that point, a clear thought came into my head. I want to be with Satoshi-kun. So, I want him to stay on the team. So, I want to get rid of his concerns and his stress. So what? So, what can I do to achieve all that? My head started to cool down as I heard the umpire shout.
ゲームセット試合終了
Game, set, and match is tennis. Now, let's not go overboard. This isn't Reina we're talking about here. We don't know that Shion actually locks anyone in basements.